for over 2.5 years now, where my friend Kim and I talk about all kinds of window treatment topics. If you are in the window treatment industry, if you are a window treatment pro, if you're a workroom, if you're an installer, if you're an interior designer, or if you're a consumer looking for window treatments, then you are in the right place. Every Friday morning at 9 a.m., we go live on Instagram, Facebook, and pick a topic, any window treatment topic. We kind of pick it apart, we put it back together, we share some of our war stories, some of our mistakes, wins and losses, so that you don't have to make the same mistakes that we have. If this is your first time joining us, then as you can see, I'm flying solo today. Usually I'm joined by my friend Kim Seraphim of Window Works New Jersey, which is a window treatment company in North Jersey based in Livingston. But she is officially on maternity leave starting this week. So today, I'm coming to you, just me, myself, and I. And let me introduce myself. If this is your first time here, welcome, welcome. My name is Vida Vygovska. I am the owner of Vitalia Inc. Window Treatments. We are a one-stop shop, a go-to resource, a concierge level service, a white glove service exclusively for luxury interior designers ready to fly first class in the world of window treatments. And today, I want to tell you a little bit about some of the past installations that we have had in the last couple of weeks. These have been some very, very busy times leading up into the holidays, and I thought it would be just fun, since it's just me, to share some of our successful installs. So this particular one was done for a design firm that we do a lot of business with. The name of the firm is Gasik Design Group. They're located in New Hope, Bucks County, just north of Philadelphia, if you're local and know the area. And they do a really, really wonderful model home business. And this particular project is among other business, not just model home, but including a really great model home business. This particular project is a model home for a really wonderful custom builder, also local to the Philadelphia area, as well as I know they've actually expanded to Pittsburgh. That builder is Fox Lane Homes. So this project was done in Harleysville. It's called High Point in Harleysville, which is about maybe an hour and a half northwest of Philadelphia or so. So I wanted to show you some of the rooms that we have done here. So this particular room, one of the bedrooms, you can see is a lot of fun. The designers at Gasik Design Group are really very, very creative in their use of color and texture and pattern and different materials. So this is a combination of shiplap ceilings. This is a combination of a really fun gingham wallpaper and really fun color here too, as well as some additional color and texture of custom window treatments. So what we have done here are woven wood shades, which you see on the triple window there. And these are natural bamboo shades, unlined in this particular case, and they provide just a really nice a light filtering effect, as well as a nice color effect here too. So in this white and blue room, it's really cool to see a little bit of that wood tone and darker tone, something that kind of grounds this room down. And then on the other side, on the gingham wall, they specified, and Vitalia Inc. fabricated and created these valances. These are called relaxed mock Roman valances. And these were just done in a solid white fabric so that we don't compete with the really fun wallpaper that they have going on there. So This is one of the examples where you can use different styles of window treatments in the same room. You can use different colors, and you can use all sorts of combination of various materials on the wall, on the ceiling, on the floor, different colors on the same wall. So really, the ability to put it all together is the testament to how great the designers at Gasig Design Group are, and just a lot of fun to work with. So this is one of the pictures, and I'll show you a couple of more views from here. So these are those three woven wood Roman shades. They Roman shade stacks up like this instead of rolls, and it also has a valance at the top. These particular Roman woven wood Roman shades are inside mounted, and we opted to not line them here because it's a model home and we're trying to get as much light as possible. But if you are for real trying to design a master bedroom, or any bedroom for that matter, and you need privacy or you need a complete blackout, then that's definitely a possibility where you can have either a light filtering liner, or you can have a blackout liner to completely black out the light. This is another room in the same project. So we're talking about a model home at the High Point development in Harleysville, being built by a great custom builder in the Philadelphia area, as well as Pennsylvania. They work all over Pennsylvania too. They're called Fox Lane Builders. The designer who designed and specified not only the window treatments, which is what we here at Vitalia Inc. fabricated, but all the other finishes that you're seeing. That design firm is Gasik Design Group. They have under the helm of Richard Gasik, the principal designer. They have several designers that work on these projects, and we have the privilege of working with them and lending our expertise and working as a team together. So this particular bedroom is really a lot of fun because, as you can see, there's a lot of moldings happening here and a lot of play on color as well. So just like last bedroom, Gasig Design Group is using a variation of blue, a shade of blue here, not as dark as the previous one. This one is more of lighter blue, and some really interesting and kind of unique and creative molding that is happening on the wall there with that diamond in the middle. And then it is sort of mirrored in a very creative way on the ceiling too, except that the colors are reversed. So it's all white around with the well, not, I guess not exactly reversed, but there's a play on color happening there with the diamond being blue and all around being white in the ceiling. And so because of all these diamonds happening on the walls and the ceiling, Gasig Design Group specified a really interesting valance where this valance is called a flat valance with side kick pleats. Usually it is a straight valance. Sometimes there is a bit of like a rounded shape to it. But for the first time ever, and I've been in business for about 18 years, for the first time ever, um, we had created a shape that we've never done before, and that is sort of like this. I don't know what you even call it, just like diagonally sloping down. And again, it's just sort of like a play on the rest of the architectural elements in the room. And then another cool thing that is sort of a little bit of a underlying sort of understated hero that is happening in this room is this really cool inverted pleat that is done in contrasting red fabric. So we have the white, we have the colonial blue, that's the word I was looking for. We have that blue colonial blue color, we have the very neutral rug and neutral walls on the window, and then we have this pop of red color in the inverted pleat. And usually inverted pleats, they are very close together. So when you invert the fabrics, the two pieces come close together. Whereas here, the designers actually specified the pleat being about 2 to 3 inches in width and the blue fabric not coming together. So we thought that that was really interesting and unique, something that we in all of our experience has never done before. So wanted to show that to you so that you, whether you're a consumer, a designer, window treatment pro, looking at this can be like, okay, that's an interesting variation on a straight valance with kick pleats. So the world is our oyster, right? So, a quick commercial break here. I wanted to let you know about a free gift that is available from WindowWorks. Now, WindowWorks is the company, like I said, that Kim is a partner at. They're located in Livingston, New Jersey, and they service the metro New York area. So, New York, New Jersey, um, and the Hamptons, Long Island. So they're a real powerhouse, not only in that area, but really all over the country. So if you wanted to plug in into what they're doing, and especially if you are new to the window treatment game, whether you're an end consumer, a designer, a window treatment pro, there's a free gift that Luann has created for you. It is called 10 Things to Know About Custom Window Treatments. And you can grab your copy of that report at windowworksnewjersey.com. Okay, next we have this project that is still the Fox Lane Homes builder. It is still the High Point at Harleysville, and it is still the Gasig Design Group. So we're staying in the same house. We've just moved from the upstairs to the downstairs. And this, as you can see, is a really awesome great room. So you can see a little bit of the peak of the kitchen on the right. You see the TV and the fireplace, and at this point, the empty room. Now, before I talk about the window treatments, let me kind of address why the room is empty and how the model homes installations work. It is usually not often, not always, but usually that the grand opening happens on the weekend. So maybe Friday, Saturday, definitely Saturday or Sunday. And then the week leading up to that weekend is when the design firm goes through their installation process. And their installation process involves delivering furniture, staging that furniture, doing all of their accessories, just really making the house look like a home, something that a potential buyer can come in and say, oh, yeah, I can see myself living here. Well, so the design firm team usually arrives on a Tuesday. So they do their merchandising Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday-ish. Friday-ish is usually a walkthrough with the builder. So that leaves Monday for a window treatment company like Vitalia Inc. to come in and install window treatments before the furniture arrives, before the kind of the craziness of everybody descending on the house. So if all goes well, doesn't always, but 80% of the time, that good old 80-20 rule. So if everything goes well and everything's on time and we can have the house all to ourselves on that Monday, then we don't have to wrangle the movers or work around a bazillion people that are still installing last minute wallpaper or backsplash tile or touching up paint. So that's where you're seeing the empty house here. It's not staged yet. But what it really does, it really showcases the window treatments, which is really great for me and for you guys as I'm telling you about these projects. So in this great room, you see two stationary drapery panels mounted on the outside of the two windows that are flanking the fireplace. And in the same fabric, you're seeing mock Roman relaxed valances on the single windows. So a couple of things to point out here. You see that the drapes are going all the way up to the ceiling. So it's the ceiling to the floor installation. And if you have been a long listener to us here on Window Treatment Friday Live, you know that both Kim and I love um, taking our treatments as high as feasibly possible because it elevates the room. Everything looks bigger, more grander, and not so squatty and short and dwarfed as it used to maybe in the 80s and the 90s when we installed very, very close to the window. And Second thing I want to point out is that there is no hardware here for the drapery panels. We opted out for concealed hardware, meaning that the drape literally starts at the ceiling. Yes, it is hanging on a hardware, but you just don't see it, hence concealed. So there is no like decorative rod, no rings, no finials. All we wanted to do here, well, the designer really specified, and we were happy to oblige, is to showcase this beautiful fabric and to add a lot of texture to the room and just have it be a total hero in this room without anything else messing up the top. The third note that I want to point out are the valances. And just like in the previous example, it is absolutely okay to mix and match styles within the same room. So it's okay to have drapery panels on the single windows on one side of the wall, and then on the different plane to have different style, in this case, valances, adorning the also single windows on that wall. It is absolutely okay. There is no police, window treatment police, that will say anything otherwise. And if you like this look, then absolutely go for it. So really it comes down to, what do you like as a designer or as a consumer? And if you are a window treatment pro or designer, what does your customer want, prefer, and what other things do you have going on in the room? And then the last thing that I want to point out is the valances are installed all the way to the ceiling. So much like the drapes that are installed at the ceiling, the valances are also starting at the same line. So we have a nice even line of the same pattern and fabric and texture and color going at the same level at the ceiling. So your eyesight, when the customer comes in, the eyesight immediately goes all the way to the top, and really kind of celebrating those 9-foot ceilings or 10-foot ceilings. In this particular case, it's a 10-foot ceiling. So anything you can do to elevate that eyesight and make the room even bigger, longer, higher than it is, you should absolutely try to do that. So I'm going to show you a couple of more angles of the same room. Here you can see a little bit more of the kitchen. And here is a different room, same project, Fox Lane Builder, High Point at Harleysville. Gasig Design is the designer. This is one of the bedrooms. This is also a stationary mock Roman valance. Relaxed, stationary mock Roman relaxed valance, I should say. Now, relaxed meaning that it has that scoop going down, versus if it were tailored, it would be completely straight at the bottom. The difference between this valance and the two previous examples that I showed you, which were also stationary mock Roman relaxed valance, is the way it is mounted. In the previous two examples, we went outside of the window and all the way to the ceiling. In this example, we went inside the window, and notice how the long point of the valance, which is the one that comes the longest, which is the center of the valance, is perfectly aligned with that first mullion. It's not an accident. It didn't just happen. It's something that we specifically measured for, because that's what Gasig Design Group had specified for us to do. So here you have two different examples of how the same valance style can be mounted inside the window and outside the window. So you choose what you like best. Another very quick commercial break here. If you are looking for ideas for window treatments, then I have the way for you to get them. It is a free curated lookbook filled with inspiration and education that we call 37 and a half window treatment ideas for you to steal, swipe, and use immediately on your next design project. So please go on our website, which is vitaliainc.com, and make sure to grab yours today. This next project was done for a wonderful company up in North Jersey. The caption is not quite right, so please disregard that. This was done for a great company called Envy Studio. At the helm of that design firm is Jennifer Carter. And we are very privileged to work with her. We first started working with her before the pandemic, so it was in 2019 when she did the design show house here in Bucks County, and then she did another design show house after the pandemic, and we are very honored and privileged and really happy to work with her on her many projects. So we've had developed a wonderful relationship with her over this year. So this particular project is inside mounted Roman shades. So unlike the previous example where we had mock Roman valance, which means that it is a stationary treatment, a Roman shade is a functional treatment, meaning that it goes up and down and you can close it on the window. So it's great for any place where you need privacy or light control, or in other words, any kind of functionality at the window. Now, the interesting thing that I want to point out here is notice that these shades are mounted on the inside of the window. However, they're not what would be called flush mounted. You can see that the depth of the window is very shallow, and the board that we have is about 2 inches, whereas the depth of the window is about an inch. Now, why the disparity like that? The reason for that is that these Roman shades are cordless. And in order for us to fit in the cordless mechanism underneath the board, so you don't see it, it's behind the shade and underneath the board, we need at least 2 inches for it to be able to breathe and function properly. And so what this is called is still an inside mount, but not flush mount. It is proud of the window by about an inch, and it is totally okay to do that. So if you like it, know that you are authorized, empowered. I give you total permission to do that if this is the look that you like. If you don't like it, then by all means go on the outside of the window. Either way, whether it's inside or outside, whenever you don't have a flush mount Roman shade, something happens. And that something is that side gap that you're seeing very well here in this picture. So because of the projection of the board is 2 inches, and because the fabric comes off of the front of the board, there is at least a 1 inch gap between the fabric that comes off the front of the board and the actual window. So if you're in the situation where you need complete and total blackout, then this is not the solution for you. And this is a conversation that you would need to have with your customer. If you're a consumer listening to me now, if that you like this look but are afraid of the gap, know that it is unfortunately the reality. And if the gap for you prevails over the look of the treatment, that you need to find a different treatment. I have another view of this picture. So here what I wanted to show you is how the board is treated and how the sides are treated. So we try to, if the specs call for it, it's our process, unless the specs call for it otherwise, I should say, to have this piping all around the board. We feel like it finishes the board a little bit more. It has a really nice kind of design and custom accent and element to it. Another thing that we always do is we have these side flaps that you're seeing there. They're about 6 inches long. And what they do is they cover up the mechanism that is housed right behind the shade and behind the flap. And the mechanism is not really a pretty thing. It's purely functional. It's either metal or plastic. It's usually white, sometimes different color, but white about 95% of the time. And it's just not something that you necessarily want to see. So by using this flap, whether you do the shade totally outside mount, partially inside mount, or flush mount, we always provide these side flaps so that there's absolutely no chance that anybody can see the unsightly mechanism. So Another quick note for you in the realm of what's happening in the world of podcasting and kind of behind the scenes. Now, you may or may not know, if this is your first time joining us, you don't know. If you're a longtime listener, you totally do know that this whole series that we lovingly call WTF, stands for Window Treatment Friday. It started with Luann's podcast. Luann Nigara is a world renowned podcaster, author, coach, and an overall dynamite lady who has over 700 episodes of the podcast that she started 6 years ago that she calls a well designed business. So, a few years ago, she brought me onto that podcast as a co host of a series that we decided to call WTF, Window Treatment Friday. On that podcast, we primarily concentrated on the business aspects of the window treatment industry. So during the pandemic a couple of years ago, Kim and Luann worked together at WindowWorks. We decided to extend the idea of Window Treatment Friday into the more visual form, which is how this um, medium came together, where we show you pictures and talk about all the different scenarios and situations that we have been. And if that all wasn't enough, and if one podcast isn't enough, and if she wasn't busy enough, our Miss Luann decided to start another podcast, her second one, that is called Window Treatments for Profit. And I, again, was called upon and feel so privileged and lucky and humbled to have now a solo guest recurring seat every Thursday. I come to your inbox in at whatever platform you listen to your podcast with a quick series that we call Vita's Tip in 10. This podcast focuses on the business aspects of the window treatment industry and how to run a better window treatment business. So, in short 10 minutes, I give you a small but oh so mighty tip that hopefully does just that, sets you on the path to run a better window treatment business. All right. And the last installation that I want to show you that has been happening in the last couple of weeks is another project for Jennifer Carter, Envy Studio. The caption here is incorrect. So, no, this is for our wonderful, wonderful, great designer, Jennifer Carter, who is the owner of Envy Studio. And this is a project that we actually very recently completed, like literally a couple of days ago. And I just thought it would be fun to show you this in case you're like, what is this? What is this room? This is a stair landing. So you can kind of see a very pretty at the front of the picture, at the bottom front of the picture, you can see the railing curving around. So this is the only way, the only giveaway that tells you that this is a staircase. So one side goes up, the other side goes down, and this is the landing with a very, very pretty bench and this triple window. And so Jennifer just wanted to treat it not in any kind of necessarily colorful way, not in any goopy way, not in anything super fancy, but just to give it a little bit of texture and a little bit of color. And there's no better way to do that nowadays than a woven wood shade. Woven woods have been very, very popular lately. So if you are in the market thinking, okay, I need to cover the window, what's in style, what's in, what's trending, what should I be switching my old and tired shades to, definitely give a try or a look at least into woven woods. In the past, they've come in sort of darker brown colors, in more Tuscan colors, and in more bamboo looking textures and feels. And that's great, but it is not what's trending right now. What's trending are much finer weaves, much more neutral weaves. Even this picture, it's a little bit more beige-ish, and even more on trend are anything that is in like very, very light beige, white, gray, off-white, so extremely, very, very neutral. And the um, the materials are not the thick and kind of bulky material of the bamboo, but very fine and elegant grassy materials. So that's exactly what we installed here. So a very simple installation, a simple measure, a simple project, but wanted to show you how something this simple can look extremely elegant without adding a lot of color and texture and pattern and anything, super fancy and over the top without overthinking it really. And so I wanted to give you one other quick note about what is happening in my world here. As you know, Vitalia Inc. recently moved into our new old studio. The reason I say new old is because it's old because we used to rent half of this building, and a year and a half ago we had a devastating fire. I moved my business into my house, and now, a year and a half later, we moved out of my house because we were able to purchase the very building that burned down. And now, instead of renting half of it, I am a proud owner of the entire building. We spent the last 6 months renovating it, and we've just moved in. And not only is it exciting because I can see clients here, I can host lunch and learns, but because I can also host something that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and that is a VIP experience event for window treatment professionals. If you're a window treatment pro listening to me right now who wants to elevate your game, who is tired of wondering if you're doing the right thing, who does not want to reinvent the wheel because the wheel has been invented, lady. It's been done. Somebody is already doing what you are trying to do. If you want to be on the fast track to getting the results that you really want, so instead of struggling for the next 5 to 10 years, you can get the exact blueprint of how to do it, and all you need to do is execute a proven recipe, then this is what this VIP experience is, and it is for you if that's what you're looking for. Specifically, it is an in person, in my beautiful new studio, private 2 day strategy session to get you more organized, more systems driven, more profitable, and very clear on your path forward. The cornerstone of what I teach are my project management system and the digital quoting tools. In addition, I hand you my entire over 100-page SOP binder, standard operating procedures binder. We sit together and forecast your revenue, and I tell you, show you exactly how to do it. And you get total and unfettered access to me for 2 days, no secrets, no holdbacks, I should say. Um, Open up my books, open up my files, open up everything that I have. We spend intimate time together at lunches and dinners. I put you up in a wonderful bed and breakfast in New Hope, Bucks County. And you walk away knowing exactly what that path forward is without any more guessing as to whether you're doing something right or wrong. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, please go on my website, vitaliainc.com. And that pretty much concludes our episode today. I hope you enjoyed the installations lately episode. I'm always, those are some of my favorites because I get really excited about the projects that we're working on. They're very fresh in my mind. I know what worked well, what didn't, what mistakes we've made, what considerations have been taken into account to produce that and the other, this, that, and the other thing. And so before I let you go, I just want to make sure that you know how to contact us. Kim Seraphim, who is not here with me today, but who usually is here, but starting this week, she's on maternity leave, but she is my partner in crime. She's also a partner at Window Works New Jersey, which is a fabulous company based in North Jersey and serving the New York metro area. If you are in that area, whether you're a designer or an end consumer or a window treatment specialist needing some support, please make sure to reach out to them. There is a phone number, there's their website, email, as well as follow them on Instagram. If you are in the Philadelphia area, then I would like to be that partner for you. Vitalia Inc. is a one stop shop, your go to resource, white glove, concierge level service exclusively for luxury interior designers ready to fly first class in the world of window treatments. I want to support you on your next project so that you can have the same beautiful and seamless installation as you have been seeing in this episode. You have my contact information here. You can DM, PM, email, call, whichever way works for you. I would love to speak with you. And until then, my friend, thank you so much for joining me today. Whether you're watching live or in recording, all of these episodes are available on my YouTube channel as well as on both of our websites, windowworksnewjersey.com and vitaliainc.com. We have 2.5 years of library of episodes where we have taken every topic imaginable as it relates to window treatments and have given you our insight and hopefully prevented you from making some of the mistakes that we have made and given you some inspiration in the process. So please join us here every Friday morning for Window Treatment Friday Live at 9 a.m. Eastern. It is on Facebook. We are on Instagram. Join us. We would love to have you. And until then, have a great weekend. Goodbye.